Do you remember the days of the NES with all the 2D platformers and the shooters, the space shooters, and all the games like Gradius and Life Force? Remember how much fun you had sitting around playing those when you were younger? Or if you are younger now, looking back on those games, great gameplay, excellent games. We all miss them, don't we? Wouldn't it be nice if someone came out with a game like that nowadays with improved graphics and wonderful visuals while maintaining all of that nostalgic gameplay and level design that those games had to offer? Well, let me tell you about the Duke of Alpha Centauri, which is a game that tries to do just that. A space shooter with amazing graphics. The main goal of this game is to have fun while blowing up hordes of different types of enemies. Engage in boss fights, upgrade your ship and ship systems until you are able to show off in an endless mode. Well, if the main goal of this game is to have fun, then they completely missed their mark, because this is the least fun game I have ever had in my life. After 5 minutes, the fun is gone, the game's horrible. Stick around right here, and I'll let you know why.
After this, I'm going to be so popular.
This is the THACO Gamers Network.
So the Duke of Alpha Centauri is a space shooter, a 2D platforming type space shooter in the likes of Gradius and Life Force from the old NES days. And let me start off by saying what this game does right, because the graphics are really good, like really good for this kind of game. And when you're flying through with your ships and the planets in the background and the environments that, you know, everything that's going on, and the ships look good and the effects look good when you blow stuff up and when things explode. So the graphics are good. They did a good job with that. And another thing that was actually pretty cool about this game is the leveling aspects. As far as for it being a cheaper game, leveling up feels pretty cool. You get to upgrade your weapons and do stuff like that, and you actually have a noticeable difference in the power of your ship when you go into a level after you've applied certain things to your ship. But everything stops there. Let me go on with the bad. First off, the music and the sound effects are atrocious. Now the sound effects maybe not so bad, but everything is repeated, very metronome-like and ad nauseum, and just goes on and on and on and repeats, and it's repetitive, and you'll get why later when we talk about that. Just trust me on that. And then the music, look, I'm all into Asian dubstep, techno, whatever, I guess. Really, I'm not, but that's all it is. So I had to turn the music off one level into the game, couldn't stand it anymore. The next thing is that the levels don't change. They stay the same. There's no, remember the cool, like those older games, the level design, you come in with your ship and you'd have to fly in between things and dodge stuff. There has to be stuff you'd have to shoot to blast your way in and all that other cool stuff. This game has none of that. Level 1, guess what it has? A planet in the background with some asteroids and some ships. Awesome, looked cool. Level 2, there's a planet in the background with some asteroids and some ships. But level 3 is where it gets really cool, because there's a planet in the background with some asteroids and some ships. But level 4, yeah, there's a planet and some asteroids and some ships. But level 5, there's a planet in the background and there's asteroids and ships. Yeah, that's all there is. Asteroids, ships, and planets. That's it. No variance in level design whatsoever. Now, speaking of levels, there are the levels that you go to, but what else do we have with levels? Leveling up, which is always a fun thing to do in games, isn't it? You earn some experience, you get to level up, you get something to make your ship more powerful. You know, so that's pretty cool. Well, I got to level, there's 20 levels in the game. Go-to levels, playable levels. As far as character or ship levels, it must be infinite, but I am a ship level 40, and I've only played through like level 14 in the game. So my ship is level 40. That means like every world, every round, every like 3 minutes or 4 minutes of gameplay for a level that you play, that you get 3 or 4, you level up 3 or 4 times. So you apply all this to your ship, but the levels don't feel earned. That when I got done with a round, it was, oh, hey, look, 4 more levels. I'm a level 35 now. That is kind of silly. Doesn't seem to make any sense, but that's just what it was, so I just kept going with that. But they don't feel earned. They don't feel like something like, yes, I earned this. In fact, one time in the game, I was playing, I played through a level, and I made it almost to the end, and I died. So then it gives you your little recap, and it zoop, zoop, zoop. I earned 3 levels there. Cool, 3 levels. All right. And then I respawned right where I was, played through the last 30 seconds of the game, And when when I finished the level after that, it showed the XP, the 3 more levels for 30 seconds of gameplay. What's the point? Now, another thing that I really don't like about this game is the achievement system. Now, I know a lot of you out there are achievement hounds. You just love to get your achievements. Well, this is the game for you because there are achievements aplenty in this game. None of them worth a dime. So I earned 104 out of the possible 128 achievements in this game. I've played for about 1.5 hours, which equals, what, 90 minutes of playtime, right? So if you take 104 achievements divided by 90 minutes, that's 1.15. That's how many achievements I earned per minute in that game. If you take 1.15 and divide it by 60 seconds, that's 52 seconds. Every 52 seconds, you earn an achievement in the game. What is the point of that? What is the point of giving... What have I achieved if you give me something every 50-some seconds? And that's not the worst of it. Of the remaining 24 achievements that I haven't gotten, by just finishing the remaining 7 levels and lasting 5 minutes in the endless level at the end, you get another 16 achievements. The only achievements left are to use the hollow drones 29 times and use fast repair 13 times. Well, do you know why I don't use fast repair? That's right, because the game is too easy. It's bland, boring, repetitive, crappy gameplay. To get those achievements, you're just spamming heal the whole time just so I could say I got an achievement. Well, you earned that there, buddy. Now, as far as gameplay goes, you shoot fast and you shoot straight in the direction that you're shooting, and all of the enemies, they're pretty much statics. They kind of, some of them go in some repeated patterns, but for the most part, they kind of are where they are, and they shoot, and they all shoot at the same time. It's pew, pew, pew. So there's just patterns of bullets coming at you. There's no strategy or anything in the game as far as it's concerned, and the main reason is because you can sit in the middle of the screen and just fire off these rockets that you get when you level up. Endless. And the rockets are heat-seeking, so these guys, if they come in from the middle, you're going to shoot them right on, and if they come from the top or bottom, your heat-seeking rockets will just seek them out and blow everything up. So I actually played through a level, more than halfway through the game, sitting right in the middle of the screen, shooting, and then switching my targets back and forth and shooting those rockets off, and I never had to move the entire level. It was absolutely boring, it was repetitive, and no kidding, I fell asleep. I fell asleep for a little bit, woke up, and was still alive. Not fun. So to sum up, let's go with the pros of this game. Good graphics, the leveling up is fun, feels like you've actually gotten stronger as it goes on, and it has controller support, which is pretty cool, although I didn't necessarily understand R1 and L1 being your shooting and R2 and L2 being the change of targets and your special abilities mapped to A and B. So remap your controller. If you decide to get this game, remap your controller because it just doesn't make sense how it's set up. But it was cool. It felt good with the analog stick. Now, as far as the cons go, it's boring, repetitive gameplay. The achievements are boring and they come too frequently. There's no multiplayer options for this game. No variations in levels. The music is awful, and the sound effects would be okay if it wasn't just constant, a pattern of the shots just going over and over again, and if every bad guy didn't shoot at the same time, you know, it sounds like you're listening to a metronome. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click like and or subscribe at the bottom of the page, and if you want to check out any of our other videos, you can do that at Phaco Gamers. Later.
After this, I'm going to be so popular.
This is the Thaco Gamers Network.